All right, shalom, shalom. Call hanga yinga, yahal bashim yahal shai, bashim rakakadash, double honors to the elders and the apostles, a great millstone who will will. Peace, blessings, and salutations goes to the whole elect that are scattered abroad. To you brothers out there pushing this through with all righteousness and sincerity, and to the Aqua to few sisters that are listening and learning, to you I say shalom. Coming back at you with another quick lesson through the spirit and power of Yahweh Shem Yahushai. Go into edifying the faith and guns in Yahweh Shem Yahushai through the spirit of Rakakadash. I pray this let's be edifying and straight to the point. All right, so we're gonna jump right into it, man. We're not gonna make this too long. All right, and as you can see, and then I got another. Hey, more bad news. All right, so hey, look, man, ain't no good news coming to this place, man. It's only gonna get worse. Okay, all right, and plus. And as the next 3 months progress, all right, it's gonna get worse, man. Okay, something big is coming. All right, and this is a lot of news ain't talking about these things. All right, but we're talking about it. All right, because we're the news, we're the true prophets, we're the true news, and hey, we give out the reports, man, and we sound the alarm. All right, let's read a little bit of this article. This article is from naturalnews.com. It says food banks see increasingly long lines as food inflation soars and more Americans face hunger. All right, and hey, and eventually those food banks are gonna run out of food, man. Okay, so you know it's just a matter of time before the famine hits, man, and we're getting closer and closer. All right, so you got about a week left of the wheat supply throughout the world. Okay. All right. So things are getting tighter and tighter, man. All right. So let's read a little bit of this article. I'm not going to make this too long. All right. It says many hard-working Americans are no longer able to afford basic foods like basic like foods. Food aim skyrocketing inflation. All right. And it's only going to get worse, man. Okay. It's only going to get worse, man. Okay. Hey, eventually you're not gonna have food on the shelves, man. Okay. Second Israel chapter 6 and verse 22 says, and suddenly shall the sown places appear unsown, the full storehouses shall suddenly be found empty. Okay. So hey, eventually, basically you're not gonna have no foods. And the food that you do have on the shelves, they're gonna be so expensive that you're not gonna be able to buy them. And hey, and what the prophets we prophesied, we told you these days was coming. And as a matter of fact, let me open up with a scripture, right? Because this is what the prophets prophesied will come. All right, but you people, you mocked, you scoffed, you laughed, and say, "Oh, that ain't gonna happen," that ain't gonna happen, and this and that. No, you seeing it now. All right. Hey, the things we told you were coming, they're here now, and they're hey. The prophecies are speaking loud and clear. This is Jeremiah chapter 28 and verse 8. The prophets that have been before me and before thee of old prophesied both many against countries and against great kingdoms of war and of evil and of pestilence. We're in the evil days, man. All right. So we're prophesying against this great kingdom, which is known as Babylon the Great America, man. All right. So the prophets are back, man. We're prophesying again. What we said before in the past, the prophets are now back saying it again. All right, and everything we've been saying is now coming to pass. All right, let me get another one before I go back to the article. Let's see. Let's go to Habakkuk chapter 2 and verse 3. Let's get straight to the point. For the vision is yet for an appointed time, but at the end it shall speak and not lie. Though it tarry, wait for it, because it will surely come. It will not tarry. All right, so these prophecies are no longer tarrying, man. Okay, and we told you what was coming. The food shortages was coming. All right. We told you hyperinflation was going to come. If we're starting off with inflation, and then it's going to eventually grow to hyperinflation. We warned you. Okay. So, hey, you people got no more excuses. And I'm talking about you Israelites, you so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans, man. You got no more excuses. All right. And hey, eventually these food banks and these what you call it? These food pantries, yeah, these food pantries where you people go and get your food from, hey, they're gonna eventually run out of food, man. Okay? So let's read a little bit more. It says, according to reports, lines at food banks are lengthening as increasingly more people in the United States seek charitable donations to help their families survive the ongoing economic crisis. Inflation right now is at a 40-year high, and gas prices are higher than they ever been. All right, well, they're going down right now, but those gas prices are going to increase again. And, you got a little break from the gas prices, so hey, you got a little break from that, but don't celebrate because hey, them gas prices, the price of gas, that's going to skyrocket again too. So don't get comfortable with that. All right, let's read a little bit more. It says this is hitting even the middle class, which it is no more middle class, man. Now you got two classes. You got the rich and you got the working class poor, man. All right, and this is what this is all designed to do, to destroy the middle class, man. They basically wiped out the middle class, man. Okay, let's read on. What remains of it anyway, hard as working families struggle to put food on the table. And hey, eventually people ain't gonna have food to eat, man. But the elect is. Because like it says, in that day his servants shall eat. Okay? Let's read on. Many food banks do not have enough food to go around. You see? I just said it. Boom. I just mentioned it. They say they do not have enough food to go around. However, some relief was seen after the, blank. Oh, you can read that for yourself. Ended, which it hasn't ended. All right, they already talking about another thing, coming, but that's for another lesson. However, the bounce back was not nearly enough to handle the onslaught of struggling families looking for food, cash, and other assistance. It's really impossible to get by now without some help, says Thomas Tomanisa John, who recently visited the St. Mary's Food Bank in Phoenix. Her first ever visit to food banks, the prices are way too high. And these people who normally, who normally didn't go to food banks, all right, and basically, and look, Jacob's always been going to these food banks, man, so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans, man, all right? But now, you see all these heathen nations, including these Edomites, that ain't never had to do that. Now they're doing it now, all right? So that what that goes to show you that the curses are now going on to the heathens and these Edomites, man. All right. Now you have some Edomites going to them, but not all of them. But hey, now, hey, these Edomites are catching hell, man. Everybody's basically catching hell. All right, but it's only gonna get worse. Like Elder Malcolm would say, man, Jacob's trouble is gonna be everybody's trouble, not just Israelites, man. You so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans, it's gonna be everybody's trouble. But the difference between everybody else, 2/3, the heathens and the Edomites, all right, and the Lord's hopeful elect, the elect are gonna be saved out of this. Okay, the elect is gonna eat in that day. The elect is gonna have abundance. Okay, so hey. Look, everybody else is gonna starve, man, and eventually, starvation is about to hit, man. Okay, let's read on. It's a real struggle at Jesus per Pascal, a janitor who was in the same line as John, waiting for food from the facility. Pascal now spends several $100s a month on food for himself, his wife, and their 5 children, who range in ages from 11 to 19. It's gonna get worse, man. It's only going to get worse, man. Okay. It says, let's read this a little bit more. It says, America is becoming a third world country comprised of very rich and very poor. You see, and America is already a third world country, man. This place is already a third world country. All right. So, and you know what it says? It says comprised of very rich, which is the elites, and the rich is getting richer, and the poor is getting poorer. All right. And like I say, there is no more middle class. Now you have 2 classes, the very rich and the working class poor. You don't have a middle class anymore. Let's read on. John and Pascal are no longer an exemption in America. Exception in America. All across the country, food banks are seeing first-time visitors who never thought they would end up in a buying like this. See? Told you. In a buying like this. Lock you. All right? You see? And we told you, man. All right? Because, hey, who normally bees in these food banks? You Israelites, man. All right? But now you're starting to see everybody, man. You're starting to see the Edomites who basically mocked and said, I don't need that. Now they're starting to struggle, man. That goes to show you the curses are coming up on them. All right? And hey, so hey, it's beautiful. It's beautiful, man. All right? To see, hey, you Edomites are finally struggling. All right? To see you heathens finally struggling, man. All right? That made fun of Jake. All right? Because, hey, Jake normally be at these food banks and, getting food and stuff like that. I've seen it with my own two eyes, man. All right? You seen some Edomites, but not a lot. But now, hey, you seeing all these people. All right? So, basically, it's only going to get worse, man. All right? It's only going to get worse. Let's read on. It says, SNAP, the federal food stamps program, has covered some 40 million Americans recently and temporarily increasing benefits, but it may not be enough to keep everyone healthy and fed. And eventually, that's going to be gone anyway. All right? Those government benefits, that shit is going to be gone as well. All right? And the SNAP, the WIC, and all of this other shit that you people depend upon, you Israelites depend upon. All right, not saying that you shouldn't get it, and you can use it, but use it for good use. But it's not gonna be around forever, man. Okay, because eventually, eventually, this, all right, with the EBT, all of that shit is gonna be on that MOTB, man, which is the CHIP. All right. They're gonna say, hey, if you want to keep your SNAP benefits, hey, take this chip. All right, I said the word, but you know what I mean, man. All right, I know I said the word. I hope the video get taken down, but if it does, I don't care. But hey, I'm just telling the truth, man, because this is what's coming. Okay, all right. It does not look like it's going to get better overnight. It's not going to get better, says Kate Fitzgerald, President and Chief Operating Officer of the National Food Bank Network. Feeding America. Demand is really making the supply challenges complex. All right, so hey, it's gonna get worse before it gets better, man. All right, I'm not gonna read all of this. All right, I'll put this in the description box. You can read the rest for yourself. Get another article I got here. All right. I'm not gonna read this one. I'll put this one in the description box as well. All right. It says global food supply crisis could kill more people than the C-19 warns African politician. All right. So you hear that? So, hey, this is gonna be a crisis throughout the four corners of the earth, mainly in Babylon, man. All right. And I'm not gonna read this. All right, and I'm gonna put this in the description box. You can read it for yourself. But let's get the scriptures, man. Okay? Because hey, a lot of folks are going to die. A lot of folks are going to starve. Okay? Starvation. Okay? Let's see where I want to go. Let's go here. Yeah, let's go here. Let's go here. This is 2nd Ezra chapter 2 and verse 27. It reads, Be not weary, for when the day of trouble and heaviness cometh, others shall weep and be sorrowful, but thou shalt be merry and have an abundance. The elect is going to be merry. The elect is going to have an abundance, man. Like the Lord said, his elect is going to eat in that day. All right, let's get this. This is Job chapter 5 and you know what? I'm going to start verse 19. Job 5 and 19. He shall deliver thee in 6 troubles. Yea, in 7 there shall no evil touch thee. The no evil is not going to touch the elect. Okay? Verse 20. In famine he shall redeem thee from death, and in war from the power of the sword. Verse 21. Thou shalt be hid from the scourges of the tongue, neither shalt thou be afraid of destruction when it cometh. Verse 22. At destruction and famine thou shalt laugh. The elect is going to laugh at famine and destruction, man. Neither shalt thou be afraid of the beasts of the field. Okay, so hey, the elect is going to laugh in that day. The elect is going to be having abundance, okay? While everybody else is starving and being judged, okay? Where's that scripture at? Where is it? Right. Let me get this one first, okay? This is Psalms chapter 33 and verse 18. Behold, the eyes of the Lord Yahweh Shai is upon them that fear him, upon them that hope in his mercy. And who hope in the Lord Yahweh Shai's mercy? The elect does. Okay, verse 19. To deliver them, to deliver their soul from death and to keep them alive in famine. You see? So the Lord is going to preserve and keep his elect alive in famine. All right, we may not have no food for a few days or maybe a few weeks, okay? But somehow, some way, the Lord Yahweh Shai is going to make a way, man, okay, for his elect. This is Psalms 37 and verse 19. They shall not be ashamed in the evil time, and in the days of famine, they shall be satisfied. Who's going to be satisfied? The elect, okay? All right, the elect is not going to be shamed in evil time. What time? Time of Jacob's trouble. Jeremiah 30 and 7 and Daniel 12 and 1. A time like no other. Okay? Verse 20. But the wicked shall perish, and the enemies of the Lord Yahweh shall be as the fat of lambs. They shall consume into smoke, they shall consume away. All right, and eventually, all right, they're gonna eventually consume away, and that ICBM nuclear missiles. All right, but eventually, hey, some of these people are just gonna consume away because they're gonna starve of famine. Okay, let's read this. This is Lamentations chapter 4 and verse 9. They that be slain with the sword are better than they that be slain with hunger. Did you hear that? So you're better off dying by the sword of Esau Edom eventually, all right, by the ultimate sword, which is those ICBM nuclear missiles, than to die of hunger, man. Because when you starving, your body begins to eat at itself, man. All right, when you ain't had no food in days, your body begins to eat at itself. It begins to eat in the organs. Okay, and hey, that's a painful way to die. Okay, let's read on. For these pine away, stricken through for want of the fruits of the field. Verse 10. The hands of the pitiful women have sought their own children. They were their meat in the destruction of the daughters of my people. And eventually, cannibalism is gonna sink in, man. Cannibalism is gonna come back in a major way. Let's get those scriptures, man. This is Jeremiah chapter 19, verse 9. And I will cause them to eat the flesh of their own, the flesh of their sons and the flesh of their daughters, and they shall eat everyone the flesh of his friends, and the siege and the straightness wherewith their enemies, and they shall seek their lives, shall straighten them. Okay, so let's read this again, man. Jeremiah chapter 19, verse 9. And I will cause them to eat the flesh of their sons and the flesh of their daughters. Cannibalism is going to come back. You're even going to have children eating their own parents, man. Okay? I'm going to get that scripture. And they shall eat everyone the flesh of his friends in the siege and straightness, wherewith their enemies, and they shall seek their lives, shall straighten them. All right, let's go to my blue letter Bible. All right. Excuse me. Fuck you. Jeremiah 19 and verse 9. Let's go there. All right. Let's read this in the NLT. Jeremiah chapter 19, verse 9. I will see to it that your enemies lay siege to the city until all the food is gone. Then those trapped inside will eat their own sons and daughters and friends. All right? Friends going to be fighting each other like enemies in that day. All right? Eventually, when the food runs out, people are going to become the commodities. People are going to become the food. Okay? They will be driven to utter despair. All right? So, hey, that's what's coming. Okay? Let's read on. Excuse me. Lucky. Sorry about that. This is Ezekiel 5 and verse 10. Therefore the father shall eat the son, sons in the midst of thee, and the sons shall eat their fathers, and I will execute judgment in thee, and the whole remnant of thee will I scatter into all the winds. Okay, so let's get this in the NLT, man. Okay, that's cannibalism right there. All right, like I say, when the food runs out, cannibalism is gonna come back in a major way. Right? Ezekiel 5 and 10 in the NLT. Parents will eat their own children, and children will eat their parents. You see? Come on, man. Hey, it's gonna be both ways. The parents of all you women out here that had all these children just to collect those government benefits and those goodies. When that shit is gone, yeah, you're gonna have to decide what child you're gonna be eating. All right, it happened in ancient world, and it's gonna happen again. All right, and you know what? I'm gonna get a scripture to prove that. Okay, now let's say what has been shall be again, and there is no new thing under the sun. Let's read this in the NLT again. Ezekiel 5 and 10. Parents will eat their own children, and children will eat their parents. I will punish you and scatter to the winds the few who survive. Okay, so there you go. All right, and let's look for that scripture. All right, I think it's 1 Kings 6. I believe it might be 2 Kings 6. Might be 2 Kings 6. Let's see. Yep, here it is. Let's see. Yeah, I'm gonna start 2 Kings chapter 6 and verse 25. And there was a great famine in Samaria, and behold, they besieged it until an ass head was sold for 80 pieces of silver. That's 80 pieces of silver, and the fourth part of a calf's of dove's dung, for 5 pieces of silver. It got so bad, man, that yeah, until an ass head, Jack, which is a donkey's head, was sold for 80 pieces of silver, and people was eating dove's dung, bird poop, man. It's gonna get that bad, man. And hey, it happened in the ancient world. It's gonna happen again. All right. Verse 26. And as the king of Israel was passing by upon the wall, there cried a woman unto him, saying, Help my lord, O king. Verse 27. And he said, If the Lord Yahweh Shai do not help thee, whence shall I help thee? Out of the barn floor or out of the winepress? Verse 28, here's the point. And the king said unto her, What annoyeth thee? And she answered, This woman said unto me, Get thy son, that we may eat him today, and we will eat my son tomorrow. You see? Hey, it got so bad that cannibalism was in place, man. All right? And this is what's going to happen. And this is what's going to come in the near future, man. All right? This is what's coming again. What has been shall be again. There's no new thing under the sun, man. Okay? What happened in the past is going to happen again in this present time. And a lot of people are going to die, especially 2/3 of our people, man. Okay? Verse 29. So we boiled my son and did eat him. And I said unto her on the next day, Get thy son that we may eat. And she hath hid her son. So this woman, she ate the woman's son, all right, but then it was time to eat her son. She hid her son. So it's gonna get real bad out here, man. All right, it's gonna get real effed up, man. And as a matter of fact, let's go to Daniel 12 and 1. Daniel 12 and verse 1. And at that time shall Michael stand up, the great prince was standing for the children of thy people. And there shall be a time of trouble such as never was since there was a nation even to that same time. And at that time thy people shall be delivered, everyone that shall be found written in the book. Only the elect are going to be preserved and protected in these times, man. All right, a time of trouble, Jacob's trouble, great tribulation, man. Okay. All right, let's see. Let's go here. Jeremiah 14 and verse 11. Then said the Lord Yahweh unto me, Pray not for this people for their good. Okay. So the Lord told Jeremiah to not pray for these people, man, for their good, man. Why? And this is talking about Israel, man. All right, because Israel was stiff-necked and hard-headed then. So hey, just like today, they stiff-necked and hard-headed. Don't want to listen. Don't want to listen to the men of the Lord. Don't want to listen to the prophets, the warnings. Okay, all right. So the Lord said, don't pray for these people. The Lord, hey, because like He said, He's not gonna hear. Okay, verse 12. When they fast, I will not hear their cry. When they offer burnt offerings and abomination, I will not accept them, but I will consume them by the sword and by the famine and by the pestilence. And that's coming again, man. Okay? 2/3 of you Israelites are gonna die. Okay? By famine, by the sword, by the pestilence, and the ultimate sword is those ICBM nuclear missiles if you take this man's MOT to the B. Point blank period, man. Verse 13. Then said I, Lord Yahweh Bashem Yahshua power, behold, the prophets said unto them, Ye shall not see the sword, neither shall ye have famine, but I will give you a sure peace in this place. And who's prophesying peace, man? That's what these preachers made. These pastors in these damn churches say, excuse my language, man. Okay? These pastors in these churches, they say that. Alright? And those are false prophets, man. Right, telling them that, oh, they're not going to see no famine. You're not going to see the sword. Hey, just like they was preaching that then, they preach. You got these false pastors in these damn harlot houses known as these churches are saying the same thing to you Israelites, man. Oh, you ain't going to see no sword. There ain't going to be no famine. All is going to be well, this and that. They preaching to you peace and safety. I ain't telling you there's going to be peace. Everything's going to get better, this and that. No, man. Things are not going to get better. The true prophets of the Lord Yahweh Shai that the Lord is dealing with is telling you that things are not going to get better. Things are going to get worse. Okay? And if you still in these harlot houses listening to these wicked ass pastors, hey, your ass going to get caught. You going to get destroyed, man. Okay? Let's read on. Verse 14. Then the Lord Yahweh Shai said unto me, the prophets prophesied lies in my name. Hey, who they talking about, man? These false pastors, man. Just like they was doing back then, they doing it today again. Alright? I send them not, neither have I commanded them, neither spake unto them. They prophesy unto you false visions and divinations, and a thing of naught, and the deceit of their hearts. Verse 15. Therefore, thus saith the Lord Yahweh Shai, concerning the prophets that prophesy in my name, and I sent them not. And you also got false prophets among Israel. All right, these fake Israelite groups such as IUIC, ISUPK, telling you that there ain't gonna be no Jacob's trouble. All right, let's not forget them. All right, you ain't forgot about them. All right, yeah, telling you that there ain't gonna be no Jacob's trouble. There ain't gonna be no MOTB. The MOTB is not the CHIP. This and that. Alright, you know who these false groups are. I named them just a minute ago. I'm not going to name them again. But you know who they are. Alright? Prophesying to you guys, telling you that all is going to be well. Alright? It's going to be a peaceful. While everybody else catching hell, there's going to be peace, man. Look, now I'm not saying that there's going to be peace amongst the elect now. The elect is going to go through stuff. But like I say, man, hey, eventually, the Lord Yahweh Shai is going to step in and he's going to feed his elect. And he's going to protect his elect, man. Okay? Not saying that the elect ain't going to go through anything. All right? Because, hey, like I say, Jacob's trouble is for everyone, including the elect, man. But the difference between the elect and the rest of everybody else, the elect is going to be saved out of it. All right? The elect is going to be saved out of this time of trouble. And as a matter of fact, let me put a bookmark on this. Let's go to Jeremiah 30:7. Okay? All right? Jeremiah 30:7. Alas, for that day is great, so that none is like it. It is even a time of Jacob's trouble, but he shall be saved out of it. Only the elect are going to be saved out of Jacob's trouble. Okay? So the elect are going to have an abundance. The elect are going to eat in that day. Okay? All right? Let's go back and let's finish reading this. All right, Jeremiah chapter 14, verse 15. Therefore, thus said the Lord Yahweh Shai concerning the prophets that prophesy in my name, and I sent them not. Yet they say, sword and famine shall not be in this land, but Snoggy, by sword and famine shall those prophets be consumed. So these false prophets that lied to you and told you that there's not gonna be no Jacob throne, they're gonna eventually be taken by the sword. And they're gonna be they're gonna starve. Their families are gonna starve, man. Because they didn't warn the sheep. They didn't warn the elect of Israel. They didn't warn the Israelites properly, man. Alright? They didn't warn the sheep. Alright? And eventually, those that didn't warn the sheep, alright, hey, they're gonna eventually run. They're gonna flee, man. Alright? Because they're not gonna have an answer for what's going on. Alright? Because hey, their congregation, alright, those that ain't prophesying and ain't warning the sheep properly, hey, their congregation gonna be looking at them sideways and they ain't gonna have no answer. Hey, the only ones that got answer for you and that's telling you the truth, the whole truth and nothing but the truth, and that's warning you properly, is the men of great millstones, starting with the elders and the elders and the apostles and the brothers on down, and of course the brothers that teach the likewise doctrine of great millstone. Those are the brothers you need to be listening to, the elders and the apostles, the brothers, all right? And of course the like-minded brothers that teach the likewise doctrine of great millstone, okay? Hey, those are the men you need to be listening to because they're the true prophets, man. Okay? Not these other Israelite groups that's not warning you and not telling you the truth, man. Alright? That's lying to you and not telling you that, hey, look, man, Lord Yahweh is gonna deal with y'all, man. Okay? Let's read this. This is Ezekiel chapter 6 and verse 11. Thus saith the Lord Yahweh the power. Smite with thy hand and stamp with thy foot and say, alas, for all the evil abominations of the house of Israel, and that's basically 2/3 of you Israelites, for they shall fall by the sword and by the famine and by pestilence. He that is far off shall die of the pestilence, and he that is near shall fall by the sword, and he that remaineth and is besieged shall die by the famine. Thus will I accomplish my fury upon them. And this is what's coming to you Israelites, man. 2/3 of you, okay? All right. What else I got in here? All right, I got a lot. Let's continue. Jeremiah 16 and verse 4. They shall die of grievous deaths. They shall not be lamented, neither shall they be buried, but they shall be as dung upon the face of the earth. There's going to be a whole lot of dead bodies out here, man, scattered. All right? You're going to be stepping over dead bodies. And they shall be consumed by the sword and by famine, and their carcasses shall be meat for the fowls of heaven and for the beasts of the earth. All right? Hey, dogs are going to be eating you. Birds are going to be eating you. Especially after the destruction of Babylon the Great America. Okay? All right? So, hey, all hell is about to break loose, man. Let's get this. This is Ezekiel 4 and verse 16. Moreover, he said unto me, Son of man, behold, I will break the staff of bread in Jerusalem, and they shall eat bread by weight and with care, and they shall drink water by measure and with astonishment. Okay? Food is eventually, they're going to ration out the food, man. Okay? All right? Verse 17. They may want bread and water and be astonished one with another and consume away for their iniquity. Okay, that's 2/3, man. 2/3 are gonna catch it out here. Okay, all right. Ezekiel 5 and verse 16. Let's see. Yeah, I'm gonna start at verse 15. Verse 15. So it shall be a reproach and a taunt, an instruction and astonishment unto the nations that are round about thee, when I shall execute judgments in thee in anger and in fury and in furious rebukes. I, the Lord Yahweh Shah, have spoken it. Okay, so hey, the nations are gonna be judged. The 2/3 of Israel, the nation of Israel, 2/3 of you are about to be judged. These heathen nations are about to be judged. All right, the Lord said He's gonna execute judgment in thee in anger and in fury and rebuke and furious rebukes. And as a matter of fact, let's go Back to here. Says I'm right here, man. I'm gonna read this in the NLT. Yep, NLT. Ezekiel 5 verse 15 in the NLT. You will become an object of mockery and taunt and horror. You will be a warning to all the nations around you. They will see what happens when the Lord Yahweh shall punish a nation in anger and rebuke it, say the Lord Yahweh shall, man. Okay, you hear that? Come on, man. All right. Verse 16. When I shall send upon them the evil arrows of famine, which shall be for their destruction, and which I will send to destroy you, and I will increase the famine upon you, and will break your staff of bread. And that's what's happening here right now here in Babylon, the Great America, man. Okay, the Lord Yahweh Shai is taking away the staff of bread in America. Okay, verse 16 in the NLT. I will shower you with the deadly arrows of famine to destroy you. The famine will become more and more severe until every crumb of food is gone. And it's powerful, man. Better start fearing the Lord. And I'm talking about you Israelites, man. You Israelites better start fearing the Lord, man. Okay? Verse 17. So will I send upon you famine and evil beasts, and they shall berate thee, and the pestilence and blood shall pass through thee, and I will bring the sword upon thee. I, the Lord Yahweh shall have spoken it. Verse 17 in the NLT. And along with famine and wild animals will attack you and rob you of your children. Diseases and war will stalk your land, and I will bring the sword of the enemy against you. I, the Lord Yahweh have spoken it. What happened in the past is going to happen again, especially when Esau comes in like a flood. But a standard is going to be lifted up for the elect, man. Okay? All right. Let's go back. All right. Let's go here. 2nd Ezra chapter 16, verse 18. The beginning of sorrows and great mourning, the beginning of famine and great death, the beginning of wars, and the power shall stand in fear, the beginning of evils. What shall I do when these evils shall come? Verse 19. Behold, famine and plague and tribulation and angers are sent as scourges for amendment. But for all these things they shall not turn from their wickedness, nor be always mindful of the scourges. Okay, that's 2/3 of the Israelites. You ain't mindful of the scourges that's coming upon you, man. All right, this is sent to correct you, Israelites, man. But you ain't hearing the correction. You ain't taking heed. Okay, verse 21. Behold, victuals, which is known as food, shall be so good cheap upon earth, and that they shall think themselves to be in good case, and even then shall evils grow upon the earth, sword, famine, and great confusion. And that's what's growing upon the earth. Sword, famine, great confusion, man. Okay, all right. Evils are growing upon the earth. Verse 22. For many of them that dwell upon the earth shall perish of famine, and the others that escape the hunger shall the sword destroy. Verse 23. And the dead shall be cast out as dung, and there shall be no man to comfort them, for the earth shall be wasted, and the city shall be cast down. Dead bodies all over, man. Dropping dead from pestilence, man. Okay, let's read this scripture and then close it out. Isaiah 65 and verse 12. Therefore will I number you to the sword, and ye shall all bow down to the slaughter. Because when I called, ye did not answer. When I spake, ye did not hear. But the evil before my eyes, and did choose that which wherein I delighted not. That's 2/3 of you Israelites, man. All right, you Israelites. Hey, 2/3 of you ain't taking heed. You're not taking heed to the warnings. Okay, verse 13. Therefore, thus said the Lord Yahweh shall power. Behold, my servants shall eat, but ye shall be hungry. Behold, my servants shall drink, but ye shall be thirsty. Behold, my servants shall rejoice, but ye shall be ashamed. Verse 14. Behold, my servants shall sing for joy of heart, but ye shall cry for sorrow of heart, and shall howl for vexation of spirit. So the Lord's elect are going to eat in that day. All right? But 2/3 of you are going to starve, man. All right? You're going to be thirsty, going to die of thirst, die of hunger. You're going to be ashamed. Hey, you're going to be crying for sorrow and howling for vexation of spirit, man. All right, so Let's see, anything else? Nope, that's pretty much it, man. I'm gonna end the lesson here. I ain't tend to make this too long, but that's the spirit, man. All right, so with that, Lord, when our praise and lesson was edifying and straight to the point. All praises and glorifications goes to Yahweh Bashim Yahushai, Bashim Rakakadash, double honors to the elders and the apostles of great millstone who will well. Peace, blessings, and salutations goes to the hopeful net that scattered abroad. See you with another lesson soon, Lord willing. Kwam Yasharala Shalom. Wild Bible Ball, about a one DTA, a Bible Ball. Boom. Show on to next time. Show on.